Well, we finally arrived in Mammoth. It's about almost 3 o'clock. Made a pit stop in Bishop. We're heading up to the Coldwater Campground right next to Lake Mary. And that's going to be the beginning of our adventure. We're going to spend the night in the car camp to acclimate a little bit. We're about 8,000 feet. And from here, we're going to head on up tomorrow up the Duck Pass Trail, up and over Duck Pass to Duck Lake. So in the meantime, we got to get set up in camp here as we go up this little skinny, narrow little road and work our way up to the Coldwater Campground. Temperature was 97 degrees in the valley below, and it's 78 right now, so it feels a lot better being up here in Mammoth. We should be pulling into the campground here in a couple minutes, and then we'll get it set up for the night. Well, we finally arrived in Mammoth. We're at the Coldwater Campground, and we're about 5 miles outside of the town of Mammoth. The reason we're here is the Duck Pass Trailhead is just right up the road, and that's where we're going to go tomorrow. We're going to do about a 30-mile hike through Mammoth, and we're going to see Duck Lake, Purple Lake, Virginia Lake, maybe Ram Lake, some Glen and Glendine lakes, and who knows, maybe even the Deer Lakes. So we're going to go check it out tomorrow, but in the meantime, we got to acclimate here a little bit. It's up over 8,000 feet here in Mammoth, and you don't just drive from sea level to here. So in the meantime, we're at the Coldwater Campground. I'm going to be using a Locust Gear Cafra teepee on the trail, but in the campground, I'm going to use my my hammock setup, which I love. I bought the teepee. I want to try something different on the trail, but for the campground, this is perfect. I've got two perfect trees set about the right distance apart. I've got my double nest hammock here. I've also got my underquilt. It is from Storm Crow from Hammock Forums, if you know who he is. I've got a Hexfly rain tarp over the top. I've just got it kind of, rolled up right now because it's so nice. I don't want to miss the scenery. But I do want it up just in case we get some rain. Up here in the mountains at 8,000 feet, there's always a chance of a thunderstorm in the afternoon and in the evening. So I want to be prepared. If I have to, in the middle of the night, I can just pull the little Velcro tabs here, and I can stake out my hammock and get a nice warm and dry pitch. But the reason I picked this spot is that it's a little ways away from everybody else in camp, so they don't have to hear me snore, and I don't have to hear them snore. Gets me a little farther away from the food, but the real reason is right over here. Just behind my hammock is this neat little stream. So I'm going to listen to this all night while I'm sleeping in the hammock. And this is going to be refreshing. I'm going to get a good night's sleep tonight before we start our trip tomorrow. And who knows, maybe I'll even get a visit by some of the local wildlife. Maybe I'll see a deer, maybe even a bear. So we have to take bear precautions. All the food's going to go in the bear locker at the campsite. I have my backpack. That's got my bear can in it. That's going to come out. That's going to go in the bear locker as well. But in the meantime, I'm going to enjoy some acclimating time here at the Coldwater Campground. And maybe I'll go have a beer. Well, we're finally on the trail here. We're starting up the Duck Pass Trail, and it took a while to get to this point. We Had to do a car shuttle from the Coldwater Campground back around to other side of Lake George. Dropped off the car, drove back, and now we're heading up the trail, the Duck Pass Trail, up and over the pass down to Duck Lake, and around the left side to Pica Lake, which is going to be our first night's camp tonight. It's already heating up. Feels like it's 75 already. Whew. And we can definitely feel the altitude. We're about 9,500 feet right here. Well, we've been climbing for about 30-45 minutes maybe, and we reached an overlook. That's Lake Mary down there. So you can see Lake Mary, you can see Mammoth Mountain behind us. And this first section is kind of tough because it's about the most amount of elevation we're going to gain is in this first day. And our packs are the heaviest, so this is going to be a little rough. But I'm feeling okay. We got a magnificent view, and in fact over this way, you can see what's called the fin over here, and we're going to be coming along the Mammoth Crest on the way back on day 4. So, so far for the first hour of the hike, we're hanging in there. Sun's coming out. There are some clouds. There's a slight chance of rain. That's nice raven. Well, anyway, we're almost at the pass, at least the first little pass before we get to Skeleton Lake and Arrowhead Lake, and then Barney Lake, and it's down here off to our left down here. All right, well, we've arrived at Arrowhead Lake. At least the junction to Arrowhead Lake is down this way over here. We're going to be going to the right and working our way up toward Skeleton Lake. All right, well, we've just passed the junction for Arrowhead Lake. It's down to our left. You can kind of see it down through the gap in the trees, but it's pretty far down there. So we're going to keep heading up. We're actually going southbound, and hopefully it'll level off here a little bit, and then we'll run into Skeleton Lake, and then eventually we're going to be right along the edge of Barney Lake. That'll be nice because we're going to be right along the water's edge. But we can all feel the altitude. It's a nice cool breeze up here, but feel your heart beating in your ears, and you have to stop more often than usual to catch your breath. So maybe by this afternoon or tomorrow morning we'll be acclimated a little better, and it won't feel so bad. All right, well, we made a little short stop here. Arrowhead Lake's down this way, and I think Skeleton Lake is down this way, and actually I think we can actually see the pass way off in the distance on the other side of Barney Lake. It's starting to cloud up a little bit. Actually, kind of feels pretty good. Hopefully we won't get any rain. Doesn't look like it for now, but we're going to take a few minutes here, catch our breath, maybe get something to snack on, and enjoy this view. All the different colors as we're hiking up above Mammoth. Well, we've dropped down a little ways. There's some nice little green meadows here. There's water down there in the bottom, and this is a nice little scenic spot. It's cooled off some because the clouds have come in and blocked the sun, and it's a little more level down here. So even though the altitude's a factor, it's a little kinder and gentler on the grade. And in fact, there's water right down here. Some other hikers. This must be the outflow of Skeleton Lake. Nice, cool, refreshing, scenic little spot. Well, this is Skeleton Lake. As we're working our way up that direction there, that's where the pass is, and Barney Lake on the other side. We're just going to take a few minutes here. Well, we've got Skeleton Lake off to the left. It's over there through the trees. We just stopped at the shoreline to get a few pictures. Now we're going to continue on toward Barney Lake. The top of the pass is only about 1.5 miles away, so once we get past Barney Lake, we just have to tackle the steep switchbacks to get to the top of Duck Pass. Well, here's our view. Where we're looking, Skeleton Lake again. We've just gone. We were over there a little while ago. We just went a little ways up the trail here and got a tremendous view. Looks like there's somebody camping maybe on the end there. There's a few campsites here. But we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going up this direction here. Guys are ahead of me there. We're going to head up toward Barney Lake. All right, well, the sun has come back out. We're only 1.33 at the top of Duck Pass. So we're going to be hitting Barney Lake here in a minute. Going to go down by the water's edge, drop our packs, have a lunch break, get refueled for that steep climb up the switchbacks to Duck Pass. Duck Pass is about 10,800 and some change. We started at 9,100 today after one day to acclimate, so we're feeling it. So we're taking our time here, nice and slow and easy going until we get up and over Duck Pass. Should be some great views from up there. Well, this is what we've been looking at all day. Nice little stream crossings, gorgeous views off toward the pass, and some really scenic little meadows. It's pretty up here. It's been real nice. Well, we've been climbing and climbing since Skeleton Lake, and it's kind of taking the wind out of our sails here. We've got to be up near pretty close to 10,000 feet, I would think. And the legs are getting a little bit tired, but just up here a little ways. We're probably less than 1/4 mile from Barney Lake, and our path that is going to go right along the lake shore, and we're going to take a good break there before we tackle Duck Pass. Well, we're working our way down toward Barney Lake, and it looks like we got a friend. Hey there, buddy. Where's your pals? You lost? Looks like the mule got away from somebody. He says, enough of this, I'm heading back to the Mammoth. But it looks like we've got our view here of Barney Lake finally. This looks like a nice lake. Got a golden ring around the edge there. A lot of people fish here. People camp here. I just saw fish jump. There's a couple of them in the water down there. Beautiful Barney Lake. Look at that color. It's like a great spot. This is our view as we crested a rise and we're looking down toward Barney Lake. This is Barney Lake right here. We're going to stop here and have some lunch. All right, well, we're leaving Barney Lake. We've had a nice little lunch break. And this is the outflow of the lake right here. And this is heading down toward Little Red Lake. Little Red Lake's behind me. But we got to work our way up this path. I think this is going to be the hardest part of the hike right here. This is going to be about a 600-foot ascent, which at first glance doesn't sound that bad because we've probably already done more than that, but we've got to go behind me up and over that to get to beautiful Duck Lake. I'll suck in my gut, big breath, and here we go. Well, somewhere through that mess of rock and talus is a trail. This is the end of Barney Lake, and we're going to be heading that direction up and over that pass. And if you zoom in, there's people up there working their way toward the top. And then also, as we swing around here, you start to get the view back down above Barney Lake. And we're going to get some excellent views when we get a little higher up. Well, I'm about maybe halfway up Duck Pass. And the rocks and talus here. Got some pretty good views behind me of Barney Lake. And eventually we might even be able to see Skeleton Lake. We're starting to get a little bit of sprinkles. The lady we just talked to said that last time she was here, she got hailed on right at the top of Duck Pass. So to give you an idea of what it looks like behind me, that's where I'm going. Up at the top, in the talus. And we're probably about 400 feet right here. So I can feel the altitude. I lose my wind, but it comes back pretty quick. Slowly starting to acclimate. The grading on the switchbacks is actually pretty good. It's not bad. And there's people that are over here hanging out at this outlook, but they're all day hikers. There's no backpackers in that group. We're the only ones. All right, this is an overlooking Barney Lake as we're working our way up toward Duck Pass. The switchbacks we just came up are over here. You got a good shot of them down here. And now we still got a little ways to go. The pass is behind us, but we're probably, I'm hoping over halfway. Got a few sprinkles, but they stopped. So hopefully it won't rain on us once we get to the top of Duck Pass. Well, we've been hiking a while now. Probably at least 45 minutes on the way up to Duck Pass. I have a feeling, at least I'm hoping, it's right there. It's about 10,800 feet and then some. Last check we were at almost 10,600. So we had 200 feet to go, and that was 15 minutes ago. So we're hoping this is it. The blue sky right there. Well, down behind me here you can see the ski runs of Mammoth and the tail end of Barney Lake and Skeleton Lake. And now we're working our way up. Now we're working our way up toward the pass, the Duck Pass here. We're not too far away. I think it's a few feet ahead of me, maybe 100 feet of elevation to go ahead of me. But the views are going to be spectacular from up here. Well, it looks like we finally made it to Duck Pass. There's no signs here, it's unnamed, but we all know where it is. We should have a view off the backside toward Duck Lake, our eventual destination for tonight. Look at the mountains over there. Looks like we got some hiker coming the other way.
So we going over those ones next?
I hope not.
Oh, gentlemen.
How you doing?
Good. right there, man.
Looks like we got Duck Lake right down there.